Hello guys, my name is David Rock and I'm the founder of Space and No Code Africa. I'm also a Flutter Flow ambassador. In this course, I'm going to be teaching you how to build an online learning mobile application without writing a single line of code. Now this is the design of the online learning mobile application that you're going to be learning how to build. Alright, so we actually have like two designs. You can actually decide on which of the designs you want to go for, but in the course we're going to be focusing on just building the this particular one, which is the light theme. And in this course you're going to learn how to carry out different features within Flutter Flow without writing a single line of code. You're going to be enjoying this tutorial really much. Okay, so you're going to learn how to carry out CRUD is an acronym for create, read, update and delete, which is the primary thing that you should learn while embarking on your journey as a Flutter Flow developer or as a software developer. So I will be teaching you how to build all of this and put it into a functional application without writing a single line of code. You'll be able to create scenarios where your user will have to actually pay for a course, like add courses to the cart and then pay for these courses using Stripe. All right, and you're going to learn how to set up Firebase security rules, set up some security functionalities within Firebase, all right, that will help protect your application from different vulnerabilities. All right, so this is one of the best courses that you should actually take right now and begin your journey in Flutter Flow. All right, so just go ahead and then check for the button to actually purchase this course and jump right in. One of the things that you're going to get as an added package for this particular course is that you're going to get the link to clone this application for free. All right, so you will actually, after learning how to build this, okay, you'll be able to have access to the clonable link and you can use this particular application to run your own business. Assuming that you're building maybe you teach people different things, you can actually turn this mobile application into your business, and so you will be getting more like two-in-one scenario right now. You'll be learning how to build it, you'll be learning how to manage it, and you'll also be getting the completed application for free without writing which was built without writing a single line of code. All right, so just go ahead and jump right in and then purchase the course and we'll see you in class. All right, well done. Hello guys, welcome to the very first part of our course, and just like in the introduction, you're going to be learning how to build an online learning mobile application. All right, so full credit goes to the UI UX designer who made this available for free on Figma community. All right, and so we are going to be using this resource material here to create an online learning mobile application in Flutter Flow without writing a single line of code. Okay, so it has a few number of screens, so we should be able to get this done really quick. And of course this is going to be like different parts, so this is going to be like part one, then we will have all different parts too. Okay, so let's get right into it. It's a very unique and simple design, so I don't think we should have any issue trying to navigate around it. All right, so there are two designs here. We have the dark theme and we have the the light theme. So we're going to be using the light theme, and you can find the link to this Figma design on your very first welcome message, all right, here on Udemy. All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to start first with designing this particular screen, which is the Hotman. All right, so with that you're going to learn front-end development within Flutter Flow. So in all the parts we're going to have like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So these are 10 screens, so we're going to have like 10 front-end tutorials, like front-end tutorials for this particular course. All right, yeah, so then after that we can start the back end. So front end first, then back end later. All right, so let's jump right into it. Now when it comes to designing replicating UI UX designs inside Flutter Flow, you need to first of all go ahead and you need to just go ahead and then click on the top of the main screen. Let's say you want to work on this, so you just tap on this, and when you tap on it you'll be able to see some things on the right hand side here. All right, so it will show you the width of the screen and then the height as well. all right, because that's going to allow you to have an idea of the exact dimension of the screen. Okay, so let's go into Flutter Flow. If you don't have an account, just click start for free and register straight up. All right, I have an account, lucky me. Okay, so we're going to just wait for a couple of seconds, and then we're going to have Flutter Flow coming on board. Then we will just begin building our application. All right, so that's loading. Okay, so meanwhile, I think let me just come back here and talk about a few things before we continue. All right, so when using Figma, all right, there's a new feature which is called the developer mode. So you have to also always ensure that you turn this on. Well, there'll be times where I'll need to turn this off and I will tell you, but until then, I won't tell you. Okay, so let's go ahead and then come into Flutter Flow. And then here, I'm just going to go ahead and click on create new, and I'll give this project a name. So the project is going to be called online learning app. Yes, you guessed right. Okay, so create blank, and then we can begin our project. So now one of the first steps is actually for you to connect your project to Firebase. So here you see set up Firebase, and you don't necessarily need to change the project name because you just already did that. And you can go ahead and set up Firebase now, or you skip. So Firebase is where you get to store all the different files that will be used by your application, right? So when your user creates an account, it gets stored there, all right? Like the whole ID and the email, not the password. The passwords are always encrypted, okay? So, and then let's say the user uploads a photo of themselves, okay? So you have all of those files stored in Firebase. And Firebase also helps you in facilitating some security for your mobile application, okay? So at this point, since we are only going to be focusing on just the front end, so we can go ahead and just skip this step. All right, good. Now we need to go ahead and set up our screen. This is the interface for Flutter Flow dashboard for your project. All right, so we will just go ahead and be learning different things about this dashboard by doing things. Okay, so I won't just go ahead and start saying this is this, this is that. Well, we're going to have to just understand how to do it by using the dashboard. Okay, so this is your screen, your main screen, and you can have multiple screens on your project. So this is the place called widget tree, where you get to see all the different pages. Okay, so right now we have just one page, and it's called home page, and you can actually get to rename this page by coming here, clicking on the page itself, and clicking the scaffold. Scaffold is like the very first foundation for each of your screen. Like every single screen or a page. A screen is also called a page. Every single screen has a scaffold, which is what all the different parts of the page is built on top of. All right, so just imagine it as a foundation. Okay, foundation for building. So, and then of course you can build anything on top of nothing, so that means there has to be a foundation. And according to how Flutter Flow is designed, you can delete anything else that is on top of the foundation, but not the foundation itself. So if I try to like right click on this and say delete, it will tell me cannot delete from canvas, but I can delete the column, I can delete the app bar, which I'm going to do now. So now I'm going to delete this app bar, what you see here. I'll take it out because I don't need it. Just click delete on your keyboard and it's gone. Okay, so now the next thing that I need to do quickly is I'm going to go ahead and then start building. So I think I'll just take off this just so that we can start everything from scratch. So this is just the foundation, right? So I've deleted that, and then let's go ahead and come back to Flutter Flow and see what this is called. It's called Main. I like to still keep the names of the screens just like the way it was kept by the designer. All right, so let's come over here and then do that immediately. So I'll come over here to the home page. I've clicked on the scaffold, so I can now come over here on the right hand side and click here and then rename it to, I like to use small letters, so Main. Okay, Main, not Otman. All right, so now we have this. You can click on this to save it, or just click somewhere else and it saves. So this is Main now, and we need to begin building this. All right, so you see this particular part, you don't have to be worried about that because Flutter Flow will keep space for it, because of course when you're running a mobile application, right, you're going to have these particular different icons on your phone itself. So that's why they've already kept space for that. You don't have to design it. You just have to design anything from here below. All right, most designers don't even put this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and then look at how this works. Now this is a screen, all right, and we have different components, right? This is a component here, like these are images, is a text, another text, and I think there is some sort of border around this. Yes, some sort of border around this. Enter your name or email, password, login, sign up, right? All of that. So what we want to first of all recognize is that all of these things is inside a column. A column is a widget, all right? Column is a widget that allows you to put things from top to bottom, allows you to stack things or arrange things from top to bottom, while a row is a widget that allows you to put things from left to right. So when you want to, when you see a scenario like this where you need to put things from top to bottom, the very first widget you need to put is called a column. All right, so we are going to come back here to Flutter Flow, and in our scaffold, we will click on this icon that says add a child to this widget. So we'll click on it, and then we will say column. Now we have a column inside. The next thing we need to do is go back to Figma and then begin getting components inside Flutter Flow. Now this is it. We have these beautiful logo here. What we can do now is we can just go ahead and look at the, let me just pull this apart, maybe just hide it. Now you can go ahead and look at the right hand side of the screen, so you will see the different properties here. All right, so here is the logo. We can click on export because we want to export it and take it to Flutter Flow, right? So the next thing that we're going to do right now is we will go ahead and pick this, maybe make it like 3x or 2x. Don't make it too big because it also contributes to the overall size of your application. So then I'll click on preview, and then I'll look at it. This is the preview of the logo itself, all right, with all the blur and everything. So I'll go ahead and say export logo. Now it exports the logo. Now this logo is an image, and we can use an image widget inside Flutter Flow to bring this into Flutter Flow. Okay, so I'll go ahead and come back to Flutter Flow. Before I go to Flutter Flow, I have to check out the size of this image. So if you hover on it with your dev mode turned on, right, you will see the dimension. It says here 75 pixel by 74.999998, but I like to use the approximate value, which is 75 pixel by 75 pixel. So here we will just say, I'll click on this column now. And okay, before I continue, now you observe this particular image is also on the same horizontal line with the text here that says fire course, and that simply means for you to be able to do that, you need to put it inside a row, because a row allows you to arrange things from left to right. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and then come to the Flutter Flow and then add a row first, and in the row we're going to go ahead and add an image, and the image has a property. So the property here is going to be the width and the height. So we'll make it 75, and we will make this one as well 75. That's it. So like this, now we have the approximate dimension for the image that we want to bring in. Let's go ahead and remove the border radius. Border radius is what makes the edges of the image to be curved. Okay, so we don't need it because it wasn't there. Now the next thing we need to do is let's go ahead and bring in the logo that we downloaded from, that we exported from Flutter Flow, exported from Figma into Flutter Flow. So I'll go ahead and click on these. So it says here image type, so I'll click on it and say asset. So with asset, I can go ahead and upload the image from my system. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, this is the image, so I'll just click on it and I'll go ahead and then open it. All right, so with that, I have the file inside Flutter Flow, right? So it's loading, it's going to be available soon. Okay, so now that's taking a little bit more time than usual. Okay, so I think it's gonna come up soon. Okay, all right, so while we're waiting for that to come up, the next thing that we need to do quickly is also to bring in the text that is here. So I'll go ahead and click this to copy the text. All right, this text, okay, this is actually not a text. I thought this was a text. Well, it's actually a text, but I'm not allowed to copy it for some reason. Yeah, for some reason I can't highlight on this text, but not to worry. What you can do is actually, when you click on the component here on Figma, just go on the right hand side and you will see the content. All right, so this is it. So I can just click here to copy it. So it says copy to clipboard. I will now go ahead and look at the dimension of this text. So you see here, the font weight is 400, the font size is 36 pixel. So I'll come back over here. Okay, so this is still taking some time. All right, so this is up. Now I will go ahead and then bring this up into Flutter Flow. So I'll go ahead and click here. And then the next thing I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to click on the row, which is this one now. I'm going to click on add a child to the row, which is going to be the text. All right. And then I will paste the text that I copied, remember? And then I will go ahead and look at the dimension again. So here we have 400 by 36. So I'll come back here to Flutter Flow and scroll down. I will see the property of the text. So it's going to be 400 by 20. What did I see there? Okay, so we're going to have these as 36. So this is going to be 36. And then the next thing I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. Let's look at it. So we have a color here, right? So this is a color. We'll go ahead and just click on the gradient here. We'll just copy it. And then we will come over to Flutter Flow again. And Flutter Flow doesn't really allow you to create like way too many things, but you can actually go ahead and turn on the gradient scenario here. So you have linear and you have the direction too. So I can actually go ahead and paste this. So it has two colors. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the remaining one here. So I pasted it, I'll just cut it. All right, so this is going to be the first color. And then I'm going to click to add the second color here. You see? So like that, we have our design. Okay, so now it gives us this particular scenario. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to center align these two components here. Like we try to put it at the center. Now there's a space between the text and the logo. So we'll come over here and give it a padding of 9. Okay, because it was 9 there. So if you hover here, you see on the left hand side is 9. Now we have that. Next thing we need to do quickly is we need to go ahead and copy this one. So this is a text as well. So I'll click on it and copy it from here. And then I'll come back to Flutter Flow. Let's click this first to center align it. So I click here, then I center align it. I'll click on the main column itself because I want to add another row under this first one. So I'll click on the column and add a row. In the row, I'm going to add a text. Okay. So I'm going to add a text. The text is going to be what I'm pasting here. Now, here what I'm going to have is 400 by 16. Okay. So with these now, I will go ahead and then change the font size here to 16. And I also need to come back here and copy the color code of the text. So well, it says here 25. So I think this is just going to be a black color, but the opacity is 25%. So I'll click on these and then reduce these, just keep reducing it until I see this placed on to 25. Okay, so something around that. So I can say use color. So now I have this. Okay, so with these I can go ahead and then center align it. Click on the row, center align it, and there you go. We have a center aligned scenario. So I can go ahead and hover on this. It says 43. So the padding for this particular text is 43 above. So I'll click here and say 43. Don't forget, I'm already selecting the row that contains the text, not the text itself. Okay. Then the next thing I need to do quickly is it says you enter your name or email. So this is a text field. So it says enter your name or email. Then this is the password field, says enters password. So I'll go ahead and come here, click on the column itself because I want to put those two things here. I'll search for something called text field. All right. So I'll search for text field, then I'll click on it. Now I have a text field. I will scroll down. All right. And then turn the input border type to outline. That means I want to have an outline around my text field. Okay, more like a line, a border. All right, and then here, if you can see here, it has a border of 20 radius, 20 pixels. Okay, so I'll give it a padding of 57 on both sides. So now I'm going to come back here and say scroll up and say 57, 57, and then come over here and say 57. Okay, then scroll down and say border radius is 20. Beautiful. Now we have this. Now it says you enter your name or your email. So I'll click on it and then copy what we have here. So it says 400 by 12 here. Always observe. So I'll scroll up. I will see where it has the label text. Control A, Control V to paste what I copied, and it's 400 by 12. There you go. So then the next thing that I'll do is change the color of the text. Okay, so I'll copy it there, and then I'll come over here and paste it. Okay, so like this, and that's it. Okay, so now that we have that, the next thing that we need to do quickly is let me see. All right, so we have this, enter these. What we can actually do again is let me see, we can have okay, we don't have that here. Border width. Okay, so let's change the border width to 0.5. okay, yeah, just 0.5, just almost negligible, right? Because it was almost negligible here. If you don't look at it very well, you won't see it. All right, so we have that. The next thing we need to do is click on the text field itself, and then look at the, so I'm going to click it here and hover on top. I will see that it has 44 pixels above, like the padding above is 44. So I'll say 44. Then now that it's selected, I'll say Control D to duplicate it. Okay, so now I'm going to use this for the password field. So I'll click on here and just maybe just copy the content. Then here I have, let me click on this now and look at the distance apart. So it says 16. So I'll come back here and reduce the padding on the top here to 16 for the password field. And I'll scroll down to where we have the label text, Control A and Control V to paste password. And that's it. So now the next thing I need to do quickly is I'll go ahead and create the buttons. So we have a button here. All right, we have a button here, and then we have a button here. Now let's go ahead and see which of the widgets that is going to allow us to have this kind of gradient. All right, so let's try to bring in a button widget. So I'll click on the column itself and then click on add a child to the column and say button. Before I even continue building, I will scroll down so that you can see if at all we can have something that will allow us to have a gradient. So now here on Flutter Flow, you can't really add a gradient to a button. Like, so if you can see it here, we can't really add a gradient to a button. There is no place that says gradient. Okay, we could add a gradient to the text, but we can add it to the button. All right, so these are the only properties that we have. So button in this case will not be the best thing to use if at all we want to have almost a replica of this. So what are we going to use instead? We're going to use a container. So first of all, hover on it and look at the dimension. The height here of this button is 57. The width is 325. The spacing on the, forget about the width, just focus on the padding on the left and on the right. Well, we have to make it uniform. So let's just stick to 20. All right, 20 pixels on the left, 20 pixels on the right. So now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and then come back to Flutter Flow, and the column is already clicked. So we'll click this and add a container. A container will be able to give us the gradient feature. So we'll go ahead and highlight this, the height to 57, and the width is going to be maximum. We're going to have a padding of 20 on the right and a padding of 20 on the left. And here we're going to have a border radius of 40 pixels. So I'll come over here and say 40 pixels. Beautiful. And then I will go ahead and then just add something else. So here we will add a row inside the column, inside the container. All right, so that we can put our text. All right, so but for now, let's just stick to producing this. So this is the gradient. I'll click to copy it just like we did before, and then I'll scroll down here, and the container has a gradient feature. So I can now go ahead and paste this here. Don't forget that there are like two things. So I'll highlight the second one and Control X to cut it out. Okay, so I'm using a Windows. Okay, so I'll go ahead and paste this here and say enter. So now I have this gradient kind of. All right, so you can actually play around with these things and see what you can get out of it. So it has some features here: align times, gap, a lot of things. So you can actually try to see how you can play around it just to get things right. For now, I won't really go so far into adjusting that. So we will go ahead and add a row inside the container so that we can do what? Add a text. Okay, now the text is going to say login, right? Yes, so we click on this and just copy it. I like to prefer to just copy things. So just scroll up and copy. Sorry, paste. And then here I'll go ahead and click on this to change the text to white. Click on the row and center align it, and then click on this. Now the text itself is 400 by 18. So I'll come over here and change this to 18 just to make it a little bit bigger. All right, beautiful. Now we have this. So we can look at the padding from the top for the button. So I'm clicking on the button and hovering, and I'll see that the padding on the top is 39. Okay, so I'll put here 39. All right, and so we have 39. No, not on the text, but I have to select the container. Okay, so I'll say 39. Now with these, I can go ahead and say Control D to duplicate the what I had done so that I can use it for this one. And then let me just go ahead and copy this, sign in with Google, and paste it here in this one. All right, so we'll just paste this first. There you go. And then now we have this. So click on this and copy the linear gradient scenario, and just scroll down and come over to the container itself. Click on the container. You have to see that in the widget tree, and then scroll down to where we have the gradient and paste this first color, highlight the second color, and cut it out. And then okay, so how many colors do we have there? Wait a minute. Okay, so I think let me just come over here and just paste everything again and see. No, not that. Let me come back here and just copy the linear gradient, come over here and just paste it. Let's see. I want to learn something. Okay, so here I want to kill it. Okay, all right, so I think that's not going to work out as I imagined. So I'll just paste this, and what I would like to do is just keep going forward, and then highlights this. This happens to be like 2 different colors. Okay, so let's paste this one here. Let me see. It's not giving me what I need. Let's see what we can do out of this. So it has 3 colors. This one had 2 colors, but this one, it actually has 3 colors. So we will hover on it and look at what we can get out of this. So it has let me turn off the dev mode because I want to be able to see. Okay, that's not even still gonna show me what I need to see. Okay, all right, let me turn it back on, and I will see what I can get from here. So we have 1 color here, we have 1 color here. All right, so I'm copying this, what we have here. Okay, so I'm just copying this here, Control C, and then I'm gonna paste it here. Let's go. So that gives me the first one. Let's come back here and go in again. That's yellow again. So almost the same yellow, but let's just copy this. Okay, Control C, and then I will go ahead and paste this here. There you go. So now we have something like this. Okay, so then we need to do this particular one for the text and then sign up here. So let me just go ahead and come back to Flutter Flow and click on this. Actually click on the row, Control C, click the column and Control V to paste it. We are just reusing what we had done before. So I'll go ahead and just click on this and copy it. It says 400 by 12. The padding from here is 35. Well, I like to memorize a lot of things before I go on. So here I'll change it to 35 for the padding on the top, and then here it's going to be 12. Okay, and the main content itself, I'm going to just paste this. Then I will click on this and say Control D to duplicate. Then here I'm just going to copy the sign up, look at the padding from the top, 51 pixels, and I come back to Flutter Flow, click on this and change this to 51. All right, 51, click on this and paste what I had copied. Now, so far we have been able to create or replicate what we have in this place. So what I need to do now is click on maybe this image and look at the padding from the top, padding from here. So 101. So I will come over here and click on this and give it 101 padding from the top. just to bring things to almost the same position as what we have in design. So if we go ahead and click on this to preview the application, we will see that we have done something remarkable, something really, really remarkable and amazing. So I'm just going to preview the application, and what I did was to click on this to actually preview the application. So what we have done is unique and remarkable. I just wanted us to see how it looks like in the preview mode. Okay, so let's just wait a couple of seconds for this to load up, and then we can see it. Okay, so there you go. This is how it looks like in the preview mode. It will have this beautiful, design. This is it. Okay, so that's it. We have been able to create something really unique and amazing. So we'll get to see in the second part of the course. Take care. Hello guys, welcome to the second part of our course, and in this part you're going to learn how to do this screen. All right, so we'll try to see how we can be a bit faster for this screen. Okay, so let's shoot. Now considering how this screen is structured, all right, so you're going to have the same scenario, right, which is what we talked about in the previous time. That means you're going to consider putting a column first in the scaffold before you even put anything else. So let's go over here and let's come to this particular icon. So we have to click it to create another page, and we will say create blank, and we will give it a name. So what name are we giving it? It says here dashboard, so let's give it dashboard. Okay, so dashboard, and we'll say create page. Beautiful. So I'll click on the app bar like we did the last time and delete it. All right, and okay, I know that we didn't change this before, but let's just change it now and it wouldn't hurt. So 375, yeah, we can change it like that. So yes, we can zoom this in a bit. All right, now what we need to do is, this is the column. So just like I did before, I will just go ahead and delete this the column. So let's start from the beginning. So here we're going to add a column first, because on that screen, what screen am I referring to? On this screen, we have things stacked from top to bottom. All right, so pay attention. Okay, so now we're going to have we're going to go ahead and put a column, which I just did. So there's a column now. We're going to go ahead and put a row here. You see that these things are stacked from the left, all right, all through to the right. So that means there's a row here that allows us to put all of these things inside. So first of all, I'll go ahead and click on this. I'll go ahead and click on this particular logo, right? The logo itself. And I will come here on the right and say export, preview, and I see this. Okay. So now I want to make it such that I have this image, all right, exactly at the, like, I'm going to have an image exactly on top of this logo. But first of all, let's export the logo. So I export the vector. I can change this to, let's say, 2x and export. Okay, so now that that's been exported, let me check out the dimension. So I hover on it. If I hover on it, it's supposed to show me the dimension, but I don't know, for some reasons it's not. Okay, so let's see, let's try it again. Oh, okay, what's happening there? For some reason it is not. So I'm going to turn off this dev mode. Sometimes it usually makes things misbehave. Okay, that's not fair. Okay, so we have it now. So we have 65 pixel by 65 pixels. All right, so we'll come over here and say, let's add a row first, like I said. So we add a row. So now here inside the row, we're going to add an image. Okay, so we have an image inside here, and it's a 65 pixel. Okay, so 65 pixel by 65 pixels. So this is where you manipulate the property of the image widget. Then I'll remove this border radius. We don't have need for a border radius. And so what we need to do now is, we've already downloaded that. So let's go ahead and bring it inside Flutter Flow. So we'll scroll down and change this thing from network to assets. Okay, and then we will click to upload an image. It's going to open our system, and then we can actually go find the image. So this is the image, this one, and then we'll upload it. Okay, now that has been uploaded, what we need to do next is we need to go ahead and put in this image. See, there's an image here. All right, and it's 40 pixel by 40 pixel. Let's go ahead and just export it first before I now tell you the extra gist that you need to know. Okay, so it has this other blurry thing around here. I don't like that, so I will turn these drop shadow off. Okay, so it just gives me only this. All right, so that's what I want. So I will just export this. Okay, that's been exported. Now I can actually go ahead and bring that back. Okay, so you see there's just some sort of difference there. All right, so the next thing I need to do now is I'll go back to Flutter Flow. I want to put that image on top of another image. All right, so the only way you can do that is by using something called a stack. A stack allows you to, just like its name says, to stack things on top of things. And so we're going to go ahead and wrap the image that we already have here, this one. We're going to right click on it and say wrap widget with a stack widget. Now with the stack widget, we can now put some other things on top of it. So let's just do it by, let me show you practically. So I'll click on the add a chart to the stack widget, and the chart is going to be an image. So in this case, I'll just say circle image because we have a widget called circle image because that image was circular. And let's look at the dimension of the image again. It's 40 pixel by 40 pixel. So we will come over here and change the diameter of the circle image to 40. Beautiful. Now it's somewhere around here. Let me even zoom in so that you can, see it properly. Somewhere around here. What I need to do again now is I need to go ahead and bring in the image from my system. Yeah. So let's bring it in first. So I'll change from network to asset. Click on this to upload the image. And then now it's inside my system. So I'll just click to copy it, click it and click on open. All right. So it's going to be opened in Flutter Flow. Now it's open here already, but look at the position. All right, let me click out so you can see. Look at the position. It's not where it is supposed to be. It's supposed to be somewhere around here. Now the reason is because this image has some sort of padding from the left of, let's say, this box. Okay, so see it here. If I hover like this, I'm holding down the Alt key on my keyboard. You see, I just keep tapping it. I've selected the image already, and then I'm holding down the Alt key just to see the padding on the top and the padding on the left for this particular image. All right, so now it says 20 on the left, 20 on the top. Now that's what we're going to do. So we're going to say click on the circle image and say the padding on the left is 20. Done. The padding on the top is 20 as well. Now like that, we have this image exactly where we want it to be. Beautiful. Now let's go ahead and then create this one. Now if you observe this particular thing, what we have here is somehow stacked on top of themselves. So there's a column here. All right, there's a column here. The whole of these is inside a row, and we've already added this, but now this is in a column because it's somehow stacked from top to bottom, kind of. All right, so what we need to do is we need to just go ahead and get these things out of here. So let me see, it's okay now. Good, it's allowing me to click on it. So I'm going to copy this. Welcome back. And let me turn back my dev mode. Yeah, so I can see the font weight is 700. The font size is 10 pixel. So let's come here first. In the row that contains this particular design, we need to add a column. All right, so I'm going to add a column. All right, inside that column, I'm going to add a text. All right, now the text is what I had copied, and it says welcome back, and then it was 700, which is bold, by 10. Okay, beautiful. Now we have that, and the reason why it's in a column is because just like now I can say Ctrl D on my keyboard, it duplicates it and stacks it like that. That's why we did what we did. So now I will come back here and just tap on my mood. Okay, my mood is not allowing me to tap on. So I will just go ahead and come here and copy it. All right, so I'll copy it and look at the dimension is 700 by 14. Okay, so I'll click on what I had duplicated. I duplicated by saying Ctrl D. All right, by what I mean when I say by saying I mean by clicking on the keyboard Ctrl D. All right, so I'll just say my mood, like I'm pasting now, Ctrl S, and then I will come over here and change this to 14. Beautiful. Now that I have this, I need to go ahead and click on the column. Okay, before we continue, let me click on the row itself. Let's give it a padding from the top. Well, yes. Do we need to? No, we don't need to. Okay, so let's go ahead and then put this particular thing. So you might be asking, how are we going to put this other one? Now, these guys are inside a column, but these two people are together. So they are in a row. All right, so left and right. top, bottom. Okay, so we're gonna put a row here. Well, we didn't put it before, but now we have Mahmoud here. So we need to now go ahead and right click on this text and say wrap widget with a row. Okay, so now it's in a row, and we can now add an image inside that row. Okay, so what is that image going to be about? So this is the image. Now this tiny thing here is an image. It's an icon actually, but we might not be able to have the specific icon inside Flutter Flow. So I'll just go ahead and well, let's see. No, we might not find that. Let's go ahead and just export it and say preview, and let's go exporting it. So exported. Now the dimension is 20 pixel by 20 pixel. So let's come over here and reduce the width of this image to 20 pixel, and then the height to 20 pixel. Remove the border radius, it's not necessary. Change from network to asset, and then upload the image. Okay, so here we have the image. So I'm just going to click on this and say open, and now we're going to have the image. All right, there you go, we have the image. Then I can say like this. Okay, so now it's zoomed in so much, that's why it looks blurry. Okay, so let's go ahead and come back here and see there's some sort of spacing. No, let's give it some little padding from the text itself. So maybe let's say 4 pixels. Now let's click on the column that contains all of these and give it an alignment. See, I'm going to click on this alignment to bring everything on the same side. Now, beautiful. The next thing I'm going to do is that, look at it. Now all of these things are like on the center of this text. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click on the row. All right, you see, and then I will say center. Okay, no, not that one. Control Z. Okay, it's already center here, but we need to go ahead and let's give the column here some padding from the left. So well, just a little bit, maybe 12. Let's say 12. Okay, just something like that. And then now there is this thing that is here that we have as what is it called? Some sort of blur, right? There's some sort of blur around there. So we can do that by giving this image a blur. Let me see, do we have that particular property here? Okay, we don't. We're supposed to like use a stack to do that. I think when we're doing a finishing touch, I will put that under it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just continue. And then the next thing we need to do is put up this bell here. All right, so we have to put up the bell. So I'm going to click on the bell itself, and it's now everything, right? I don't want the bell to have, I don't want to export everything, because these red dots here is supposed to show when there's a notification, right? So if you download everything now, it simply means that every single time it's going to show that it looks like there's a notification. So we just need only the bell. So I'll double tap again. Okay, so I need to turn off this developer mode. So I need to double tap again just so that I can get, I need only the bell. Okay, so export, and let's preview. Oh, it's giving me with the icon. Okay, now it's not going to allow me. Okay, so I'm selecting the two of it and say Ctrl G to group. So I'm grouping these two guys now, and then I'll click on export. Now I have just the bell, so I can export it. And the bell is 17 pixel approximately by 18 pixel. Let's come back here and click on the row and say 17 pixel. Let's add an image. Okay, so we're adding an image. The image is going to be 17 pixel. All right, 17 pixel by 18, right? Beautiful. Then let's remove the border radius and change this from network to asset, and then let's upload this. Okay, so we're going to upload the thing that we just brought in. Let's see, where is it? We just downloaded something. Where did it go to? Okay, I think it came up as a zip folder. Like, so I had to click on this to say all files. So I need to go ahead and then cut this. So I'm just going to say cut. Then let me open this place where I have some of my files and paste it. Right click on this and say extract. Extract all. Yeah, extract all. Extract it here. So that way, okay, that way I can have it here. So I can have it inside this. I'll click on icons click on this and then upload it. Okay, so now we have this icon here. It doesn't look okay because I've zoomed it in way too much. So now I'll go ahead and wrap this icon with a stack. Now the reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to introduce this small circle here, this small icon on top of it, which is just 7 pixel by 7 pixel. So I'm wrapping it with a stack so that I can now add something else on top of it. So I'm clicking on add a chart to that stack and I'm adding a container. Don't worry. The container is going to be circular and the diameter is going to be 7. And not just that alone, it's going to also be red color. So I'm going to copy this. Now let's turn on our developer mode and copy this. So I'll come back here and paste the color of the container. Beautiful. Now we have red. Okay, so the next thing we need to do quickly is we need to go ahead and click on the row and say let's spread these things apart. All right, and so I'm now going to go ahead and click on here and I'm spreading things apart. But the problem is this one is following me because that's just how it is. Now I want to make sure that this one sticks to this one all the time. And for this particular person, I'm going to click on the stack, which is like the parent that contains all of this. I'm going to go ahead and then give it a padding of, let's see here, 26 from on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a padding of 26 on the right. So 26 here, one problem solved. And then now I'm going to go ahead and wrap this particular, all of this one, which is already inside the stack. So I'm going to wrap all of this. So let's go ahead and wrap all of this, right click, wrap all of this inside a row. Okay. And then come over here and cut this column out of here by saying Control X. And then I'll click on the row. Let's see, where is it? This is the row. And then I'll say Control V. Now that way I have been able to bring these two things together because I'm like wrapping both of them inside a row. Okay. All right. So with some little practice, you will be able to like, you know, really understand what I just did there. Now I have this particular situation done for me properly. And I can now like just reduce this. Okay. Just so that it doesn't turn out the beauty of it. Now let's wrap up. Let's go a little bit faster. Okay. So we have a big container here, right? So it's a blue container, but it has some gradient. Now let's go ahead and see how we can create this. First of all, the container has a height of 225, if you can see, like, all right. So 225, then the width is 336. So I don't normally like to fix the width. I like to just use the padding on the left, which in this case is 19. And then here is, I'm going to look at the height. So I'm going to just go ahead and come back to Flutter Flow, click on the column, and then I'll click to add a child to the column. I'm adding a container. All right. And then the container is, let's come over here. The container's height is 225. All right. So I'll say 225 is the height. I'll come here and say 225. Okay. So 225. And then here I'll say, this is the width, maximum width. Then I'll say 19 and 19. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying maximum width is because when you're changing screens, like maybe you're using a larger screen, I want it to, you know, expand, all right, to fit the size of the screen. If I fix the width, if you use a larger device, a device with a larger interface, it's not going to expand. All right, now we're going to go ahead and look at the border radius. It says 30, so we'll add a border radius here and say 30. Okay, now that we have done that, the next thing we need to do quickly is let's go ahead and then bring in some of the things here. So I will go ahead and let's see how we can do this. I will come over here and now we have some things that we need to do here. Yes, we have some things that we need to do here, which is going to be like making sure that all of this works out very well. So let's see. Let's start with the gradient of the container. So I'll click on this main and copy it. Before I do that, let me just hover on it and see it has two colors. Beautiful. So it's a gradient. So I'll come here. This is a container. Scroll down. I'll see a place that says gradient for my container. I'll turn it on. All right. Then I'll paste the color that I just copied. I don't think I copied that color well. So let's come back here and okay, let's see. It should be correct now. It's still the same thing. Okay, so how do we copy that? let's come over here. All right, I'm just going to scroll out here. So you see the two colors that makes up the background gradients are here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy here, Ctrl C, highlight and copy it, and then I'll come here and paste it. Okay, I'll come here and paste it, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and highlight this and copy it as well. Come here to the second color path and paste it. That way I have this particular gradient for me. Then I'm going to add a column inside this container. All right, I know you already guessed it right because we have things that are stacked from top to bottom. So let's quickly do it. So I'm going to go ahead and then just copy this part that says your progress in courses. The font weight and size, I'm taking note of it, 400 by 16. So I'll click on the column now and add a row inside it. And inside the row, I'm going to add a text widget, okay? And I'm going to paste what I had copied in the text widget. I'm going to come over here and change this to 16. I think that's what I saw. And then I can go ahead and paste this. Now, don't forget, I'll click on my column and say anything that is inside it, I want you to bring it to the center, all right? And okay, not that. Let's push it to the top like this. But for this row alone, I'm clicking on the row and say I want it to center align what is in this row. Beautiful. So now this is 400 by 16, correct? Now we're going to do that to this same thing too. So let's come here and just Ctrl D to duplicate that particular row. And then I will come over here to computer science, this part, and just copy it. Okay, so I'm copying that. And then I will go ahead and paste it here in the second row. All right, so paste it. There you go. I think the font size here is smaller. So 400 by 12. Yes, this is it. So it's going to be 400 by 12. And then also we need to consider the padding between these two. So it's 9.56. Let's just say 10. And then this one is 11 from the top. You see, I'm holding down the Alt key on my keyboard just to get this right. So first of all, this is going to be, I'm going to click on the row that contains the computer science and I'll say 9. And then I'm going to click on this one. Preferably, I'll click on the column and say 11. All right, so now that makes things even better. Now let's go ahead and then put all of these together. Let me zoom in so you can see. So here we have star, and then text, and then some sort of circle, text, circle, and this. So how do we quickly do this? We will do this by adding a row inside the column. So I'll click on this to add a row. Okay, so this is our row. Now inside the row, we're going to add a text. No, not a text, sorry. We're going to add an icon. Okay, things are being stacked from left to right, so that's why I'm putting it inside a row. Okay, so I'm adding an icon. The icon, I'm going to click it to change it to star. All right, so it's star now. So I'm going to choose this particular star. I'll come back here, click on the star to check out the dimension. It's 13 by 13. I'll copy the color of the star, come back to Flutter Flow, and paste it here on the icon color. Okay, and then I'll change this dimension to, let's say, 14. Beautiful. Now I'll click on the row, and then I will add a text. Don't forget, after the star is a text, which is going to be like the rating, I think. Yes. So there's a text here that says 4.5. So I will go ahead. Let's look at the dimension. So it says 700 by 10. Okay. So this is going to be 4.5. And here it's going to be 700 by 10, I think, right? Let's see, to 700 by 10. Yes. Then we have a circle, then we have a text. Let's go ahead and just copy this text first. So I have this. How do we put that circle? Let's click on the circle and just observe the dimension. So it's like 3 pixel as the radius. Oh, sorry. Yeah, radius, diameter. Yes. So I can come over here and say, let me change this to white. Okay. And inside this row now, I'm going to add a container. So I click to add a container inside here. Its dimension, I'll click this to say it's a circle, and then I'll say it's 3. And then now I need to go ahead and give it some padding. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key to see. So it's 5 on the left and 5 on the right. So I'll say 5 here. Then I'll click here and say 5 here as well. And then the next thing I need to do is click on the row, click on add a child to the row, add a text. Okay, text added. And then I will just say Control V to paste it. Now, because I already copied it. So now this is 400 by 10. Okay, so I'll scroll down and say 400 by 10 here. All right, change the color to white. There you go. And then now we still have need for this circle again. So I'll click on it and Control C to copy it. Click on the row, Control V to paste it. Okay, that's just reusing stuff that we did. Then click on this text now. That's the text for by Sarah Adams. Then copy that, click on the row again and paste this. So like that, we have where to put all level. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and click on the text now and say all level. Okay, now we will click on the entire row and center align it by clicking this. Okay, so now it's at the center. We need to go ahead and see to make some padding in between them. So let's add maybe 6 here as a padding. Beautiful. Now the next thing we need to do to just make things go almost perfect is we need to put this bar. Okay, this is one of the most interesting things that we're going to do. So let's click on the column here. Click on add a child to the column and search for something called progress bar. So progress, and you just put on here. So now it's going to show you this circle. Don't worry. We're going to just come here and say we need the progress bar shape to be linear. All right, so that's it. Now we're going to do some manipulation to get it right. Let me click on this green color and just, no, let me tap on it again. Where's the green color? Okay, so click on here and see the second color. Now it's not showing me my green color. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here and copy it. Okay. So I'm copying it from here, Control C. And then, now look at it. The width of this thing is, this entire stuff is quite long. Let me turn the dev mode off so that I can, I don't know. I wanted to see the width here. So it's like 244, right? Okay, then the height is like 12. So let's come over here and say the width is 244. 244, yes. And then the height is 12, which is correct. The primary color is this green, right? And then the text, okay, we don't have any text here, right? So we don't have any text, so we can actually go ahead and let me see. Can we remove the text? Yes, we can. We just remove this text here, remove it. And then what else do we need to do? Now observe, this whole thing is whole thing is inside a container. So this is a container 244 by 12, right? All right, but the indicator itself is 76 by 9. Okay, so let's come over here and right click on this indicator and wrap it in a let's wrap it in a row. Yes, let me see. Yes, and then let's wrap that row in a container. Perfect. Now that container is going to be 244, right? 244 by 9, no, by 12. Yes, and let's give that container a border radius. Let's give it a border radius. No, not that one, this one. Border radius is like 20. Okay, so it's already here, 20. So we can say border radius 20. There you go. And then the next thing we need to do quickly is we have to go ahead and let me see. Okay, now that's done. Let's click on the progress bar itself and reduce the thickness to 9. Okay, and what else do we need to do here? Okay, I think that's fine. What we now need to do again is let's give it some padding from the left. So we will say, let me see here. If you look at this, there's some sort of padding. If I select this, there's some sort of padding from the left. Well, I can't really tell the dimension there. So let's say 2 pixels from the left, or maybe preferably 4. Okay, so maybe here 4 as well. 4. Okay, then now we have to reduce this to 236 because we've, yeah, so let's say 236. That's just like basic math. We're removing 8 from 244. All right. So now then we have n radius here. So the n radius could just be like what makes it curved. So we have like 40. Let's say 40. Well, will that give us what we need? And voila, it does. So now we have this. You see, we have this, and we can go ahead and click on the main container itself and give it some padding from the top. So if I click on this, if I click on this, no, this one. Okay, this one here. Okay, so I can look at the padding. It says 4. I'll just leave it at 5. Okay, so 5. Okay, now that we have that, we can go ahead and then see what to do. Now I think this is 4 is not really so good. So let's use 2. Yes, let's use 2. Perfect. Now we have this. So you see we've created an indicator. Don't worry, all of this will come from the database, like dynamically. Now we need to put the maths and then the same thing and all of that. So let's go ahead and just do some copying and pasting. So let's click on this and copy this row, Control C.